Hey, so it's AW, and we're back together, guys, with another one for Bleach. And today we're going to discuss why Ishin Kurosaki, how powerful is Ishin Kurosaki, why Ichigo failed Netsu's test, and what the flashback between Ishin Kurosaki and Masaki Kurosaki mean for power scaling Bleach going forward. Now, for those who are wondering why Ishin seems so weak versus Pseudo Vasto Lorde, well, the answer can be found in two reasons. First, Ishii is conducting a mission when the limit of his power has not been lifted by the current Captain Commander. Understand that Ishii went on this solo mission without informing any of the other captains or Yamamoto himself. So none of the captains knew about this mission that he was going on, and the Captain Commander, of course, did not know either. All the captains, when entering the world of the living, have limiters placed on their power as to hinder their enormous power from affecting the world of the living. So yes, this does mean that Ishiden was not fighting at full power when he encountered the Hollows. The other thing to note is that Ishiden never went Bankai, but we know Ishiden have a Bankai as when he and Urahawa fought Aizen. It was discussed that Ishiden cannot utilize his Bankai when he is heavily injured and fatigued. So understand that this guy is very powerful. He's capable of immense feats. Ishiden, Zanpakuto, and Getsu is very powerful. Um, it is, from my opinion, I don't believe it is just a fire type Zanpakuto as is shown within the episode. We power scalers must remember that during Ishiden's fight with Aizen, Ishiden utilized Getsuga Tessho, a technique coined by Ichigo. Due to Ishida being able to utilize Getsuga Tessho and being able to utilize it so powerfully and so well, it leads me to believe two things. Ishida Kurosaki's Bankai is one that copies other powers like a Sharingan and Naruto, or he was the originator of the Getsu Tessho technique even before Ichigo. So it's one of those two things. Either he was the originator of the Getsuga Tessho technique even before Ichigo, or his Bankai is capable of copying other powers. The other thing to note is that Ishin Kurosaki in terms of combat is the most balanced captain to have ever entered the Goatee 13. Now why do I say this? Go back and research the Aizen fight. Go back and watch the Aizen fight where Ishida and Urahawa um, fought Aizen. There is not a single combat, Shunpo, Kido, swordsmanship, Zangetsu, Zanjutsu. Ishiden is powerful in all of those forms of combat. He's also highly powerful in hand-to-hand combat. His body is highly strong. With a flick of his pinky, he's able to knock universal level threats through three buildings. So we have to look at this guy as being more powerful than what we're seeing right now currently in this episode. Now, why do I say this? When you watch Aizen and Ishiden's fight, Ishiden utilized an array of techniques that were even unique to him. Ishiden physically was so powerful, he was able to flick Aizen with his finger through three buildings using the Oni Deco pin. Ishiden is also a descendant from one of the five noble houses of the Soul Society, and at one point was the head of the Shiba clan. Usually, the descendants of the five noble houses are born with immense spiritual pressure, like Byakuya. Ishii possesses immense spiritual pressure as he was easily able to overpower Aizen without utilizing his Bankai before Aizen transcended to his final form. And that's the beauty about Bleach. Hopefully Kubo in the recent manga will reveal Ishin Kurosaki's Bankai, but until then, I still believe it is more than just a flame Zanbakuto. I believe there's more to meet, that meets the eye to Ishin Kurosaki's Zanpakuto. If you even translate and Getsu into English, it means scathing moon, which means reflection. I believe Ishigen's Bankai can copy techniques, but that'll be a topic for another day. What we can get from this episode is that Ishin Kurosaki is extremely powerful. And so when he utilized the powers that he utilized. He was not utilizing his full powers. There was definitely a limit on his powers due to all of the captains having limits on their powers. One thing to note also is how powerful Ichigo's mother is. Ichigo's mother is highly powerful as well. As you can see, she utilized her Quincy techniques flawlessly. She was fearless, and she was able to defeat that Vasto Lord, that pseudo Vasto Lord, with one blow. So understand that bite that Hollow gave her essentially is what inserted the Hollow powers within Ichigo. So he has all three: his mother's Quincy blood, his father's Soul Reaper powers, and also that bite from the Hollow, Aizen's bite from the Hollow. Hence why Ichigo's Asachi or Asuchi, apologize for the mispronouncing, his Asachi or Asuchi, his base Zanpakuto toe is unique. There is nothing like it. So when we're talking about ISSHIN Kurosaki, we have to put it in perspective. Toshiro Hisugaya, his former third seat and now the captain of the 10th Division, is still not stronger than ISSHIN Kurosaki is currently right now. Even when Toshiro Hisugaya ends up elevating his power level during the last few arcs of the Thousand Year Blood War arc, he still has not surpassed ISSHIN Kurosaki. If you want me to discuss why, you can get at me in the comment section, but it should be obvious for power scalers. After Captain Commander Yamamoto went down during the Aizen arc, when Aizen attempted to, become the Soul Clean, only Ishida and Urahara would have been able to hold Aizen off long enough for Ichigo to awaken his powers. You could tell Urahara was laying back from afar, devising a plan, attacking from afar, while Ishijin was on the front lines, also devising a plan, but being more physical, being more up close with Aizen. Ishijin is highly intelligent, not smarter than Urahara, but highly intelligent in combat. So we have to understand that we were looking at Ishijin Kurosaki not at full power. Now, getting to Ichigo Kurosaki, I want to discuss why Ichigo failed ONETSU's test. For those that seem a little lost, Ichigo failed ONETSU's test because Ichigo never had an Asachi. Ichigo's sword was already in Shikai form. His sword, when we first saw it from the very first episode, was already in Shikai form. What makes Onetsu Nimaha's test and Onetsu Nimaha's test even more irrelevant is the fact that due to Ichigo's Hollow and Quincy blood, his Bankai is incomplete. And so he needed to go back home to his father to find out who he really is. Once his soul is satisfied with who he is as a man, he can then create a unique Asachi, one that has never been seen, and one that is unique to his Soul Reaper, Quincy, and Hollow powers. This is AW and I'm out. Please hit that subscribe and like button if you like my topics, and let me know what you think about ISSHIN Kurosaki's Bankai and what it will be. Peace.